There we go. We got intro music now. We got rock backgrounds. This makes me feel like it's more like a show. Dave Kittle, Tony Maritano is coming along some way. Dave, can you see the vertical view on yours? Right now we're streaming horizontal, sideways square, and we're streaming like this. You can see both?
I can just see horizontal. I'd probably have to turn my phone since I'm on mobile.
No. It might be like how I'm logged in. But this is different because we use a third-party like streaming platform, right? Like you could go live on every one of these platforms. Oh, that reminds me, I'm supposed to hit go live. I'm trying to go live. I'm trying to go live to Instagram now, which we haven't done because there's there's an extra step, like quite literally one extra step, maybe like two extra steps. But we haven't done it because it hasn't been just absolutely smooth. But we're doing that today. So now these streaming platforms are recognizing that people like to hold their phone like this, and they don't want to hold it like this. They want to hold it like this. They don't want to hold it like that all the time. So now these platforms are actually rewarding people for creating video content with more than just yourself, because this used to just be for yourself. And this was TV, this was side by side. So something to think about when you're starting to create content, which is like quite literally, how do people hold the device that they're watching you on in their pocket? I remember doing videos when I was at Fox Rehab. Because we would train the clinicians sometimes like how to shoot videos. Because like, listen, they have thousands of cameras out there. If you could shoot a great patient video, and they would always give us a vertical video, and we'd be like, we literally made like funny tongue in cheek, like turn the phone sideways.
You had to make a jingle. You had to, instructions were as a jingle.
We would get videos, and people were like, I know.
Please listen to our instructions.
Please,
word for word, verbatim.
Please do this. Please don't. We get the videos, and the video people would just be like, these, like they don't. It doesn't work because everything was rewarded horizontally, and now we're seeing a change to go vertically. I would love to dig up. Hopefully, my friend Drew still has some of that crap. Please turn the phone sideways. Don't shoot video like this.
So since you're getting into, well, not getting into, but since you're pitching this new audit component to a new offering for organizations and practices, would you, I mean, I'm open to it because I'm posting more video on our Instagram, although it's only got 180 something.
Doesn't matter.
It's first inning. But in the coming days or weeks or whatever, like if you wanted to, use that as a public audit, I'm totally fine with feedback. And then folks that are owners or decision makers or organizations and committees, they can see and hear you how you would break down a potential client or whatever. If you want, because you know me, I have thick skin, and there's a bunch of things that we're doing, and it's not completely organized, but I would love
it's never going to be completely organized. This is one reason why I liked radio. Radio was constantly flying by at 10,000 miles an hour. It was a medium that was, and I didn't come up with this phrase, but I love it. It's a medium that is simultaneously created and destroyed. Social media isn't created and destroyed. It's saved, but it like finding stuff, like unless it's like curated in a playlist or done well, it's your feed. It's flying by. So it's never done. It's always, it's the Golden Gate Bridge. You are constantly painting from one side to the other, and when you're done there, you know the story of the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Because it's over the bay, they have to continually paint it, or else it'll rust. But like, it takes so long to paint from one side, I don't know, north to south or east to west, that by the time you're done, they're just like, "What do we do tomorrow?" It's like we go back to the first side and we start again. That's all this is. And I know it seems rat racy, and it can be overwhelming, and that's why I try to explain to people like. Oh, and it's way easier for me to do to other people than it is for me to do myself. As you know, in our group chat, when I'm like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm constantly, that's what we're all doing. Way easier for you to do to someone else. But when you break it down to, and I shot 30, I actually put my money where my mouth was. I shot 30 days of content last night. Wrote the script.
For what? For who?
For this whole thing that I was talking about, GTMO. So
7 days. When I see that, I think get Mo. I want to get Mo.
You could get Mo. See, now we're iterating.
I love it, dude. If I didn't say that over messaging, there's some feedback. I see that, and I'm like, I want to get Mo. I want to get more. I want to get more exposure, more patience, more impact, all that.
I'm glad you didn't see Gitmo, because I was afraid that people would see Gitmo. Hopefully, we're long enough away from Guantanamo Bay.
Yes, yeah. That did not ring a bell. it was. I was kind of saying
Gitmo,
but get. But I was saying Gitmo.
So 7 days ago, I launched this. And then I said the Ignite Lab, that was what I was going to call this, like, sort of consulting company, creative company, digital marketing agency. And then I said it for a week, and I was like, I don't like it. What do you do if you name your kid something, and then like a week later, you're like, this isn't, I'm not going to like
you. They do what you did, which is,
do they really? Do they rename kids?
Sometimes I've never heard that. Like in the first week or two of a kid's life, it's rare, but it happens.
Who's going to know?
Who's going to know? The kid doesn't even know.
So I decided
and Ignite Lab doesn't even know, because now it's Gitmo.
It's Gitmo. So here's the logoing if you're watching a live stream, right? So it's like, GTFO, right? We got a GTFO. Get the fun out of here.
Yep.
So it's get the message out. Because again, this is friend and confidant Sky Donovan and her husband. She's close enough to me where she's like, I'm like, this is what I'm doing, friends. And she's like, I love it. And I'm like, what do you think of the name? And she's like, I don't like it. So she's like close enough friend that she could be like, that thing you're doing, it's not you. And that was the reasoning. She's like, it's not you. And then her husband is a writer and is very logical. And you need people like me and Brian. Her husband's name is Brian. You need us in your life, because you got me all over the place, and you got Brian the whole time. Looks like he's not paying attention in the corner. And the whole time he's just like doing math or something in his head. And he's like, what's he trying to do? And Sky was like, tell Brian. He's trying to just help people, like, get the message out. I think she said something. He's like, so like, get the message out, like GTFO, GTMO, and boom, then it's born. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. ChatGPT didn't help me with this. They helped me with the graphic, which now I can spin it.
I love it. I love it.
How am I going to get
the Spotify, the iTunes?
So how are we going to get the message out? All the different ways. We can get them out all the ways, because that's the idea. All right. So wait, what were we talking about a second ago? We wanted to talk about, you said logos. So, audit. Okay.
I don't know if you want to do it now or another time, or if you need more time to.
I don't need.
Look at
we can do it a little bit.
Different posts or whatever.
But let me talk about this first. There's a girl out there, and I freaking love this. This girl's so great. She's a graphic designer. Have you ever seen this Instagram of this girl? She's a graphic designer, and she wanted. I mean, I guess like the underlying backstory looked like. What up, Tony? She wanted to be like a graphic designer for the NFL. So I'm sure she did, like, sent the resume, sent her portfolio. And then she just started doing graphics of like videos like this, of like her, like at her pad, of just reimagining every team's logo. Well, I would do this, and I would make this their alternate jersey. And they were cool videos because they moved, like they were fast. Like you went from like old, we can't do the Browns because they don't have a logo. But the Giants logo, and then boom, you're this new one, and you're like, damn. And it is a cool thing to watch before transformation and after, especially because all these logos. Well, I believe the story, I'll have to look it up when you guys are talking. She got like some crazy job. Of course she did. She's really good at it. And she figured out content is king. Everybody knows that. That's the phrase. But distribution is the Pope. So she made her static dynamic. Like, oh, I can design logos. But like she did it, and she did it in public. The reason I'm saying this was David just brought up, hey, Jimmy, I know you're doing like sort of audits for people's media, and it's a great way to drum up business, right? Movement audits, movement screens. I'm willing to do that. But my question is, if there's a client out there, I know the answer that Tony's going to give. If there's a client out there that you want to work with, or that's your moonshot, just do the audit, record it, and give it away live. I'm going to audit APTA Texas tomorrow. And not because I'm taking shots at Texas, just because I'm like, they're a big chapter. I'd love to work with them. And what better way of saying, I couldn't send my resume and send a pitch and DM all their people, or I could just do the thing. Do I need their permission? And then I give it away. Take the information I give you. Here's my insights. Maybe it's garbage. I don't know. So that's my idea, was just start doing audits, start doing the thing that I say I'm good at. And just, all right, if I were you here from what, and the good thing about what I'm doing is most of it has to be public facing anyway. There's a lot that APTA sessions and academies do in private, email that's behind a paywall or a login wall, but a lot of it's private, and that's how you get new members, and that's where most people live anyway. So all the information I really need, I don't need anything behind a paywall. It's all available to me. So I might start doing audits without permission. What would I call it? Like unauthorized biography, unauthorized communications audit. I'll come up with something better.
Why do I?
Oh man, what? Now I can't hear Tony. I can't hear you.
No, I lost him too. He's standing though.
Wait, I got you. Hold on.
He looks leaner than ever.
Hello?
I got you. Yeah, you look good, dude. You look.
It's just the angle.
Yeah, you're cutting out. Unless you're messing with me. Remember the scene from Ocean's 11 where Brad Pitt is talking to Matt Damon? By the way, some of my favorite movies. And he's giving like Linus, Matt Damon, this pep. He's like, do this, don't do this. Don't say 5 words when 3 will do. Don't put your hands here. Don't put your, and absolutely, definitely don't do. And someone's like, hey, and he's like, oh, and he just walks away and he's like, what was the last thing that you were going to tell me? That's what I feel like Tony's doing to us. He's like, what I really, and then you'll be successful. It's like, wait a second. What was the advice? What are your thoughts of me just going rogue and auditing people and giving away the thoughts? There's no one can stop me.
It's I mean, it's a great content idea, and it's also going to get your potential, like you're putting value out there,
right?
And then more folks that, I mean, a bunch of these folks already know you, they've seen you, or they definitely heard your voice. It's no different than Tony and I putting out patient facing videos, and then other patients in the future see those videos and they're like, oh, that's kind of like me, or I like the way that they're doing that, or whatever, and let me contact them for either a telehealth call or an in-person evaluation or whatever they have to offer. So it makes a ton of sense for you to do it. It is literally a content idea for you to actually put out content that's actually valuable, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then those and other decision makers, just like you said, multiple people have watched this recently, and they contacted you when you last week had the idea about Ignite Lab, and they're like, oh, that's interesting. And it starts a conversation, and let's see if they're the right fit for you.
It's crazy how many people actually listen to this. It's weird. You forget about it because we had the conversation Thursday. You're like, well, that's over. But that's not how the internet works. Tony, what do you think of my crazy idea? I'm just going to start auditing people and videoing it, my thoughts. It's just going to be me and the dry erase board and whatever.
Yeah, I love it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now you're good. Yes.
Okay, I hear music though. What's the music playing in the background?
Oh, you do? I had music a while ago. Oh yeah.
I don't hear music.
Is it gone now? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Because when I was on my phone, I heard it too. Yeah. I mean, the tried and true strategy for doing it. Don't ask. Don't try to convince. Just start doing it. Let the value speak for itself. Especially if you have the time. Right now, you have the time to do something like that.
A lot of time.
Yeah. If it gets successful, you won't have that time.
Right.
So go ahead. We even use a strategy like that in the clinic a lot of times. Patients can come in, they can come back. Like, I don't care if I don't get paid, just come in here. Let's start doing stuff. Let's get you feeling better. Then we'll figure out the payment later. I can do that because I have the capacity for something like that. Yeah. There's always value to be had. There's always value to be had, whether it be monetary or referrals or something.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a quick communications audit. What I'm doing is I just set up, I'll give away the formula for free. Talk to ChatGPT for about a half hour. I was like, what's going to be actionable? What's going to be digestible? What's going to be useful, even if the person takes it and does it without me? That's the kicker. They can do it without me. If they haven't done it already, they're not going to. Like, that's the magic, people. We could do this and figure out a plan of care. But I'm always going to be like, am I doing it right? Should I be doing this? Well, I'm different, but I don't even know how to explain it, right? So it's like, I see these things, you guys see these things, but people who don't make content and do these things don't see these things. They don't want to do this. My buddy loves lawn care. I love you. He's great. I could care less. I got a ride-on mower. I'll do it when I have to. But he's like, do you want to know how to put the lines in your lawn? And I'm like, does it take long? And he's like, kinda. And I was like, then no, I don't. I don't want to do that. But I love the fact that he does. So this is what, again, I think I told this last week, what inspired me to eventually, sometimes it's the 400th time someone has to tell you this. You guys have been telling me this for a million years. I watched someone mow my neighbor's lawn and I'm like, I know he has a lawnmower. Why is he paying someone to do it? He's not paying someone to do it. He's paying someone so he doesn't have to do it. That's what I'm doing now. What I'm doing is not painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. I'm not painting the Mona Lisa. I'm getting stuff done. And I am getting I'm trying to stretch until I get the logo. Getting the message out.
Get Mo.
Get Mo. Get Mo.
Your jingle should be me saying, get Mo.
Yeah. Like EA Sports, but shorter.
Get Mo.
Mo. Get Mo.
I like it. I like it.
How much do you want, Mo? Gotta go to Mo's. We could steal that. All right.
Gotta go to Mo's.
So what were we sharing? What did I download? Okay, so I had a LinkedIn post. We'll do this first just because it's top of mind. No other reason. I have a Peloton bike. I bought that when everybody else in the world was buying that during COVID. I still ride it, though. I knew I was going to ride it, so I knew it wasn't going to be a clothes hanger. And then I love Facebook Marketplace. It's a sport. I treat it like a sport. You can find anything there, or it's just fun to see what's there. And anyway, so I have Peloton Tread. Would not pay full price for a Peloton Tread. That's insane. They're like $4,000. Not happening. But anyway, I use them frequently now. And badges. We've talked about badges before. Here's some of Jimmy's badges. And there, nope, that's not a badge. Here's some of Jimmy's badges. You get badges for doing events. I'll upload it in a second, but you get badges for hitting milestones for a certain number of rides or runs or, you know, different exercise combinations and things like that. It's a blatant shot at making sure I keep doing the thing. Because if I stop doing the thing, my guess is, oh, look at that. There's my rides. I'm at somewhere above 700 rides. So I'll talk about a few things. Number one, when I signed up for my bike, I don't remember doing this, but I must have told them my t-shirt size, and they have my address because it's a billing address. And when I hit 100 rides, I got a dope t-shirt that I still have somewhere.
That's the club. It's not the digital badges, guys. That is the genius part where it's connected to a physical thing in your physical world. That's the genius part.
I agree. So the Century Club, I was shocked because now I'm like, 100 was cool. I've been paying $40 a month, I think it is, since 2020. So for 5 years, somebody math that. ChatGPT's down, so I can't even do math anymore. But I was surprised at 500 or maybe 1,000. I'll get something, but that's a lot. The digital badges, I don't think I would share these. Some people do, though. Some people in a tribe do, and they share these.
And they need help.
But I think it's not the badge that I like so much. I think it's tracking of results. Like, if you had asked me yesterday how many rides I did, I would be like, I don't know, 400, 900. I have no idea. But it's going to keep track. It's going to show me how many rides, how many runs, how many lifts, all those different things. And we're big dumb animals. And oh, look at that! Someone just sent me someone just gave me a notification on LinkedIn. Is that for me or is that generic? But someone sent me a DM. That has to be for me. That's like ultimate like brain crack. So I don't know. Like, badges were brought up a long time ago. We chased them. We put them on the wall in frames that they say degree or, you know, doctorate or master's. We do. Those are badges too. But I've never seen it in rehab. I'm not saying it's not done. In EMR feels like it'd be the layup place to do it because that's where it's the big black hole. So I threw this post out there. What are your thoughts? Dave doesn't want badges. He wants physical things. I don't disagree with you.
Or I want to hear Tony, but I have more. Go ahead.
Yeah, when I saw that, I started asking questions about EMRs. I mean, we know the science of motivation. We know the science of protecting the streak, keep it going. Like, for me, since January 1, 2025, I have not missed a single week of exceeding the requirements for my Facebook posts. You know, and some weeks it's like 30 or 40 posts in a week to get the badge to complete the assignment. And I've done it every single week. There's no chance I'm going to stop and lose my streak of that. It's such an effective strategy, whether it be something virtual, something physical. It's across all settings. Like, everything we do, we need that motivation to keep us going.
What do you think, Dave?
So there's on the Apple Watch, there's like these random badges, like when I do workouts, and if I'm like walking fast or if I'm jogging, like my Apple Watch will automatically say like, hey, are you jogging right now? Do you want to record this jog? And I'm like, I guess, like I'm recording it on my Nike Plus app or whatever, but I guess I will secondarily record it through my Apple Watch and never look at it ever again.
Yep.
So, okay, well, let's record. And then Apple Watch or whatever ecosystem that iOS sends me these little badges. And if you put a gun to my head, I literally don't know what any of the badges, what are their names? There's like different colors and stuff. And that, for me, that does not keep me going, right? So maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm a different consumer. I have a different motivator. Tony mentioned motivation. the same type of thing with the digital badges that you're displaying, Jimmy. Like that will maybe help some people.
Yeah.
But it's the recognition.
Yeah.
It's when you're in a Peloton class and the instructor is shouting you out verbally, that's not automated, and they're shouting out, you know, hey, at PT Pinscast, PT Pinecast. Oh,
they do it all the time.
James McKay, PT Pinscast, whatever that means. Congratulations on your 500th ride or whatever, right? That the recognition is kind of like the holy grail of business to light a fire or to continue the fire of that user, of that customer, patient, client, whatever.
Yeah.
Ben's comment.
Ben says, his watch says, do you want me to call 911? Someone must be chasing you.
He's so fast. but to Dave's point, I bet, Dave, you just get, even if it's not noticeable, you get a little dopamine hit when you do get some sort of notification. Like, I know Jimmy has shared it. I've shared it. vidIQ, when you pass so many, 100,000, 25,000, a million.
Jimmy posts them on LinkedIn.
You share it. It's like one of those things. And even at the lowest level, I know that there's a little dopamine hit that happens when you're like, I did this and most other people haven't done that. Yeah. I got up at 6 a.m. and most people are in bed until 8, like whatever it is, any of those little recognitions, I guarantee there's physiology happening in the brain that's making you more receptive to whatever that company then wants to sell you next or deliver or whatever.
Yeah, I did. Shoot, what was I just going to say? Oh, I mean, just the rings, like a visual representation of how much I've moved, exercised, and stood. And it makes me go, oh, you're kind of a pile of poo today, man. Like, you're a little lazy. Maybe you want to see what the sky looks like today, bro. Like, go outside. So I think it does something. Ben wants to know if I don't know who is asking me, who you guys wear a shirt. This is kind of a big deal on the internet. No, but I would wear that shirt. So the badges for me felt like this. I'm looking up some badges that I had that I created before. Oh, this is what it was. This was when I had a Shopify store and I was doing like funny things. And I was like, what would the merit badges be if you were in PT school, but make them funny? So this one is failed a practical and survived. This one is got shocked during modalities. And like, if you look close, they look like they're stitched, like in graphics. Asked the most questions during lecture. There was always that person who would not put their hand down, just like stop. Tested the wrong side. Who hasn't earned this merit badge? Right?
Treated the wrong side.
Vomited 3+ times during cadaver lab. Whoops, you earned that merit badge. And then my graphic designer at the time tried to get cutesy. Listened to every episode of the PT Pinecast. Or this is the last one. Passed out during surgery observation. Like, these are great. Like, you buy one for. Did you really pass out?
I was in the OR. It was actually, she wasn't my wife at the time. It was my wife's knee scope. They puncture for the first, like, where the camera is going to go. I see this line of blood flowing down. I had to like put the head between the knees. I turned bright, like white. It was horrible. I didn't totally go down, but yeah, blood. Which is weird. Blood on multiple occasions has almost taken me out. The cadaver never bothered me until they wanted to slice the penis in half. Once we hit that, I had to step out. Like, I could not handle that.
I did not see that on the bingo card for today's episode.
Well, I was in South Florida. There are a lot of angry women down there, man. They were slicing penises in half, and I had to step out to like collect myself.
Wow, we just earned on iTunes or Nate. If you remix this to my show, Nate, please cut that part out.
Cut that part out. We don't want to cut parts out, bro. Hold on. Ben's got a paragraph. Yeah, Strava is a good example. Yeah. Let's get off the penis talk. Strava and a lot of biking apps are really good about giving you feedback and ranking. When I ride Peloton, I do the thing where I want to know who's here now. Because you can look at everybody historically, like 25,000 people have taken this ride. I want to see who I'm riding with now because I'm stupid. And even though I'm supposed to stay in zone 2, there's that guy who's the same age as me because you can see the age brackets, and he's 4 kilojoules ahead of me. And I'm like, not for long, brother. And so I blow up my entire workout to beat some guy that probably like does not know or care. Showing the patient progress to goals and streaks in comparison to others can likely help reinforce healthy behaviors, creating a group around them. Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm shocked that an EMR hasn't done this. This feels cute, but powerful. And it feels like simple. Even if it was like every time you logged in, if you were a PT and like Tony was my patient, I'd be like, hey, do you realize if you've done what you've told me, you've done 500 squats. And you're like, what? It's like, dude, the first 20 are horrible. And you're like, cool, 20, bro. But when you start to pile it on, you're like, 700 whatever rides. How come I keep showing? Yeah. Yes. Wow. 700 rides. And I'm like, I don't want to do the math because I've had the bike for a couple of years. I'm like, I don't know. Is that a lot? Like, or is it motivational the other way? Like, hey, that's great. Or, hey, you've had the bike for 5 years. 700 is not that much, lard ass. Why don't you start pedaling more? But I guess you decide. I don't know. If our goal is, if one of our biggest things is, and I hate using the term too, because I've heard enough people talk about patient compliance, but our goal is behavior change. That's really what this is. Why wouldn't we be taking and using all the tools at our disposal? This feels like a layup.
So I think what it is, you've got EMRs that kind of run the show.
Yes.
And they've been so focused on, and I think they've done a good job on back-end operations, billing and collections and invoicing. Yeah. So like, I put that post up about what EMR allows me to take a before and after picture and import it into the system and bringing it out onto an evaluation report, progress report, whatever. The closest thing I got was JNAP allows somebody to take a picture of the patient, which is helpful because you don't realize I've got a small practice. We probably don't have, 20 or 30 active patients at any given time, maybe a little bit more. I still have to go in, open the EMR, go to documents, find the patient's driver's license to see who is this person. Like I forgot who this person was by name. I have to see their picture and I have to go 3 clicks deep before I get to the driver's license. So it's one of those things where it's like every fitness center, if I go to Planet Fitness for $10, they probably have my photo there. Like these are the little things. So EMRs are focused on something different.
Yeah.
They're not focused on patient retention, patient experience, like making it a better service.
Could be.
That's where I think there's a huge gap in the market. And one of the things like my Map My Run, it's an Under Armour, but I think they just sold.
Yeah.
They send me a weekly report. Hey, you ran 23 miles this week, whatever. Like that little weekly report keeps them front of mind. And it's something that I enjoy seeing.
Yep. Yeah. Ben was saying his Uber driver gets badges. Companies for money are doing this. That's when you know it's important. McDonald's used to do this. Do you remember this? On their billboards, on their signs, on their golden arches, it would be like 10 million served. And then it was like 1 billion served. And then I think it just ran out of numbers and they were like, we're just going to take this off. But that's like a weird, do you guys know what Smurl is?
No.
I want one of these, but I would say to someone, if you have a brick and mortar PT clinic, Tony, that you were like, we think social is a strategy. We think organic social is a strategy. Then this is for you. Let me bring it up on screen.
Is it the counter?
This is
counter. Yeah.
Stupidly simple. And it's $300. So what you do is you get this. Is this on the screen yet? No. Did I not bring it on?
Not yet.
There we go. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
So you bring it on screen and it's this wooden box that sits there and it's the old school, like train station, right? The flicky counter to say stuff. And you just say like, here's my account at, Concierge Pain Relief. If Dave had a brick and mortar and it's behind the front desk, subtly sitting there. And you're kind of like, I kind of gotta know if it's going to do, is it going to do it right now? Or does it update at the end of the day? And you're like, try it out. Like never. That's what I would try my front desk staff. Never answer them. Just go try it out. Cause you could see someone like follow, unfollow, follow. That's what I would do. Unfollow, follow, unfollow, just to watch it go flick, 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 flick. Cause I'm an idiot. But we did this in radio. We stole something like this in radio. When digital billboards first came out, we were given, this is what happened a lot in radio. You were given like, hey, you've got the ability to send text messages. figure out how to use that, like, and don't make it stupid and don't make people pissed off. I was given, when digital billboards came out, we did trade. So the billboard company got free radio commercials to whatever give away, and we got ad space on digital billboards. So I was like, what the hell am I going to do? I'm a radio station. So I talked to my engineer and I was like, is this possible? And this is like 15 years ago. We had digital data that would go to your car radio to tell you what song was playing. And we just scroll. That digital information needed to be embedded. I was like, could we do that? And he goes, hang on. And he came back to the billboard people and they go, yes. So you'd be driving on Interstate 81 and it would be like 97.9X is playing Nickelback, How You Remind Me. And people are like, why is that cool? And I'm like, you gotta turn it on. Just say, is it right? Is it accurate? Does that work? Or is that just a random scrolling thing? Right? Or, hey, freaking love this song. Or I freaking hate that song. I don't know. But like, it's itchy. You know what I mean? You got to scratch that itch. So I feel
I love what Ben said here. Or therapists, for example, 1,000 rotator cuff patients.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine accumulating for a therapist. We talk about burnout, we talk about motivation, we talk about all that stuff for therapists. Like, why aren't we applying these strategies for the staff? So, how many total degrees of range of motion have you increased over the lifetime of your career? Ooh. How many pounds of total weight have you had patients lift over the lifetime of your career? Like these things, of course, you go down how many units generated. But these are things that I think would potentially keep a therapist motivated.
The Red Cross does this, although I don't think they do it well enough. I'm in the gallon.
Donated.
I'm in like the several gallon club or whatever. We did a promotion with the Red Cross. The Red Cross was like, everybody at the radio station had to pick a charity, and mine was the Red Cross for some reason. And we would do disaster relief, money, and then blood. And then we would partner with craft beer was really coming on the scene. So pint for a pint, to the point where the Red Cross had to be like, you have to put it like, you have to put a date. This is good 7 days later, because freaking nitwits are donating blood and then running to the brewery. So we had to be like, this is good, but it's a week later. Like, well, and then we partnered with like ice cream, like local dairies that made ice cream, pint for a pint. It's just about spinning and making the invisible visible. And I think badges do that. I still think that idea of surprise and delight when I got that Century Club t-shirt, because by the way, it was about me on the front. There was no logo for Peloton except on a sleeve. And I was like, yep, I'm the hero. They're the guide. Ask me about my Century Club t-shirt, guys. Like, that's what I'm wearing this, so you ask me about it. But if we know people are big dumb animals, myself very much included, why aren't we doing more? I think, spoiler alert, we should be. All right, what do you guys want to talk about next? You want to talk about this cruise?
Sure.
All right. So, Dave, this is your story or the thing that you shared. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, there was a Parkinson's cruise. I know we talked about it before. We don't need to go too deep into it because we had mentioned different types of events. It could be cruises. It could be kind of like condition specific. I saw this on, I don't know, I think I was targeted on Facebook or so. I don't know if it was, I don't think it was an ad, but I don't know, maybe some other therapist was sharing it. I'm not really sure, but the pricing is very transparent.
Yep.
And what you're highlighting is kind of like the things that they get. And, just some of maybe it's not formal physical therapy. It might be wellness. It might be, whatever like version of like boxing or, rock steady boxing or, whatever type of movements and all that. But it does post the pricing as the cheapest is if you have a room on the cruise that's like on the inner part, so meaning like no windows,
$24
or some windows and
that's
for better view.
Divide that by 2 because that's for 2 people. It's saying so that's it's $1,200 a pop.
So it's not bad. And then of course it's a little more expensive. It's like 2x or something for like a veranda, which is a little bit more of an upsell or another offer. But I love the different pricing. I love that they're mixing in wellness and some other options for folks that are living with Parkinson's. And like you said, the spouse can come if they have a spouse, assuming they still have a spouse. And if not, maybe there's some, maybe it's half or maybe some discounted price or something if you were coming solo. But I think it's genius. We talked about it before, but here's the thing is like other companies, other people are doing this stuff. Like this literally could be, I don't know how much. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much money and organization, all that, like a physical therapy practice would need to have. Like maybe you could pull multiple physical therapy practices together that are colleagues and, do this type of an offer. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was interesting and caught my eye. I wanted to share it with you guys and see if you have any thoughts.
So cruise lines, I didn't know about this, but when I was in radio, it helped me come into a lot of other industries. When you're, there's a lot of cruise lines that people, like someone just owns a ship and they've got a boat out. It's like owning a limo. It's like, it's really cool, except if you have no one to drive around, it's not that, it's just a big annoying thing. So Coors Light or Bud Light, they would rent out like this cruise ship company. Like they weren't huge, like Viking or whatever. And they'd be like, okay, Bud Light would run out these cruise ships for like 3 days. And then they'd go around to all the radio stations they bought ads with nationally and do a month-long contest, getting a month of attention on every one of these radio stations to win your way on the Dave Matthews Cruise to Nowhere, whatever. And it literally would be like you'd get on in Florida and you'd cruise to some island, private island, I don't know, where there'd be like a band. So like that wouldn't make sense if you were doing it in one market, but they would do it nationally. What I'm getting at is cruise ships are for rent and you can sit down and do the math. So if you were like APTA Neuro, could you imagine? How would you fund your cruise? It's like, well, number one, get all your members or get a lot of members to come. You're going to fill the other half of the boat or 80% of the boat with people who need your help. So each of you is going to teach 2 classes a week or whatever. And then while you're on the boat, teach CEUs. So by the time you get off the boat, your cruise is free or the section made money. You learned something because you brought CEU instructors at night and you taught a few classes because you're kidding me. A neuro PT is going to be on a cruise with a bunch of people with Parkinson's disease and not want to teach a class. You'd have to keep that person. You'd have to cage that person. You would not have to ask that person twice to teach a class or to do something. And how great. Now all the other neuro PTs are watching what this person's doing and watch what, oh, I see. Oh, cool. My class is on Thursday. And I'm telling you, look at the prices for $2,000 a cabin. Dude. And if you want to be sneaky, when the CEUs are on the boat, now you can use your CEU budget from your hospital job or whatever job, and you just got to cruise out of it. What? Did we just invent a scam that's actually not a scam? It's a good scam? I think we did. You're welcome. I'll send you your invoice. Feels like a win.
It does. It's a no-brainer, especially for people who love cruises. We did a bunch of cruises before we had kids. We'll do cruises again in the future. It was awesome.
Just don't do a cruise for vestibular patients. Bad idea. Hey, man, way to rain on my good idea. But yes, I think Helena, Esmond, and Patrick would be like, yeah, cruise might not be. Let's do it we'll do it on the salt flats. Very flat, very stable.
Or maybe it's the perfect demographic.
Maybe it's the best idea. I don't know. Helena will comment.
Them to movement and the water.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We might.
Everybody has the goggles on and you can assess them while they're on the cruise. Like, have you guys seen those nightclubs with the headphones where nobody?
The silent disco? Yeah. I've been to one of those. It's odd. But then you forget and you're just sort of in the moment. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about just real quick. So there's a company called Cvent. Essentially, it's like the HubSpot of like event stuff. Like check in. Anything you need for like an event, they are the Cadillac of. I went to an event and I had a big QR code on my I hate wearing the lanyards with your thing around your neck, but you're supposed to wear them whenever you go to conferences. Huge QR code on both sides. As you walked into the conference, there was, of course, like the balloon arch or welcome to whatever con. And you didn't know it, but your QR code was just being scanned from 100 different directions. So when I hit the balloon arch, the screens were like, welcome, Jimmy. Glad to see you. My picture popped up. You're telling me now we can't just do that with facial recognition? Bullshit. If you walked into your clinic, that person's information's already on file. You don't think that person, what's your name again? No. 3 years from now, that's not going to be a thing, right? Like you're just going to scan someone's face, correct? 2 years from now. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about Coney. You had a post that I believe I commented, spicy. You asked the question. And I love the responses because they are so predictable. Well, So here's the prompt, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Like, is the physical therapy in your community worth more or less than, I think you said, $100 or $150? And I love the comment. It's like, well, what I'm doing is, but most of it isn't. And I love that response because I look for it. There's always that one.
And so I've shared it before. It's like, okay, everybody wants higher reimbursement. Everybody wants insurance companies to pay more. And I would absolutely agree that people reading my post are worth more than they're getting paid by insurance companies.
Right.
But the question is everybody worth more?
Right.
Is even the majority of clinicians worth more? You know, if I went into 1,000 clinics today across the country, across different settings, skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, whatever, is what the patient is actually receiving worth what we're being paid now, $100 an hour on average, worth less, worth more, you know? And so, and this was a response, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, I think it was you. No, it was Joey Albritton who said, what should APTA be doing? What should APTA's primary focus be?
Yes.
A bunch of people said more reimbursement. But my thing is, look, we're asking taxpayers to pay for this service. Is the service they're getting right now worth even what we're getting paid right now?
Right.
Because every therapist I talk to is like, man, this patient came to me and they were getting terrible therapy somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, like, yep. I've never heard a therapist say, yeah, they've got way better therapy down the street than they're getting from me. It's always worse. And so I'm like, so is it even worth it? Like, is it worth the $25 a unit for what people are getting? I don't know. I don't know.
Yo, that's the thing.
In the current model where there's a lot more volume, and that is the world we're living in, that's been continually year after year getting crunched and squeezed and compressed. No, it's not worth it in that model. But that's how therapists were trained. That's when therapists, myself, I'll talk about myself. When I shadowed at one of the NovaCare locations in South Philadelphia when I was in school, and there was a potential job there at this, not the NovaCare complex where the Eagles practice, but there's an outpatient office nearby. And I shadowed, and I was like, oh my God, no way. This is insane. Like, too many patients per hour for each therapist. It was crazy. It was like a long rectangle. There's no way the therapists were, I was standing on the wall, literally shadowing, and the therapists were not with all their patients all at the same time. It's impossible. And I was like, well, so this is definitely not for me. Then I found a job that was 2-3 patients booked per hour, and then some cancel or no show or whatever. So it wasn't that busy all the time. So that, I think, has a higher value, or could garner a higher value dollar amount whenever the therapist either has more time with you, and that doesn't mean hands-on. It could just be more counseling, more guidance, more feedback, cues, whatever. So to answer your question, it's the current model of like stacking and overbooking patients. Now, if there was, I don't know, if there were way more locations and way more availability for patients, and the patients went in and they got more time with their therapist, then I think across the country, there could potentially be more of an argument of we're really underpaid because we're providing all this value, or this guidance, or these programs, these remote programs, or whatever it is. Does that make sense, Tony?
Yeah, it makes sense. I understand what you're saying. Ben said worth more to who? The payer or the patient? If we're getting paid by the payer, I'm talking what's it worth to the payer. Mm-hmm. The patient has no say in this because they are not the ones paying the bill. They can go to the payer. They paid the payer to pay the bill. They can battle with the payer. In this scenario, I'm saying what I am delivering is what's it worth to the payer. To Dave's point, though, you know, we got to be careful about putting together time with the therapist and value or worth. You know, when we were in PT school, we had 20, 30 kids in a class. We were paying $100,000, $150,000. We weren't getting one-on-one tutoring. We weren't getting dedicated hours with a professor. Like, but we all got licensed. You know, we all got the outcome that we were paying for. What were you going to say?
I know it's a little bit of a sticky situation when we're talking about exchanging time for value with patients, but how come a lot of schools across the country advertise that they have, or even universities, when they have smaller class sizes, meaning there's, one teacher for every 15 students or one teacher for every 25 students, charter schools, universities, high schools, and Tony, you know this better than I do because you have kids in school. A lot of them will advertise the class sizes. Why is that?
I'm special.
There's a perception that a smaller class size means more education, better outcome.
So, but in general, wouldn't there be more attention on your particular son or your twins or one of your kids if they, on average, grew up in a class size of 15 students compared to 30? Wouldn't they get more time with the teacher? Wouldn't they get more accountability? Wouldn't they get more feedback? Wouldn't they get more instruction, a little bit more one-on-one time, all that potentially over the years?
100%. Here's the thing. There's public school paid by tax dollars. There's private school, typically more expensive, paid by consumers who value that, who want that. So it's just like this. Like Medicare is public school. What you do is private school. If I want a better experience, if I want a better educator, if I want to connect and more time, I'm going to pay for it. But if what I get in public school is good enough and I'm already paying my taxes and I feel like that's a value exchange that I'm comfortable with, I'm just going to put my kids in public school.
Yeah.
But we have the choice to do either or. My kids go to private school. One kid goes to public school. Public school was a better fit for him based on what he wanted to do. So, there is no simple answer, but 100%. One-on-one, more expensive. Groups, less expensive.
Yep.
Payers pay less.
Yeah.
Clients pay more.
If you're going to go backstage at a concert to meet the band, it's different than if you're one of 30,000 people in the audience. Like there's a different experience. Ben's got a great comment here. It's probably worth another session. He's right. The value of PT can't be measured against PT. You have to measure it against the alternative if unchecked. I think I know what he's talking about. This is what I've said to going back to our first conversation, which is like, I'm explaining to APTA sections, academies, and state chapters, your competition is not other academies and sections. Your competition is Netflix, MedBridge, physicaltherapy.com, every other thing that can take attention that is delivering what you say you're doing. And if you're not, I'm just going to go somewhere else. So I think what Ben is saying is like, you can't value the PT isn't measured against other PT as much as it may or may not be. It has to be measured against the alternative. It's the Hinge, it's the Sword, it's the I'll just chat GPT my stuff. It's Tonal, right?
So it's so easy to compete against Sword and Hinge. Come on, it's laughable. I thought Ben was. I love Ben. Thank you for joining in live. Thank you for Ben's commenting and engaging. We love your participation. I thought Ben was going to say compared to the alternative treatments, right? So like acupuncture or massage or chiropractic.
He's saying everything. Yeah, everything. That's the thing. I'm like, I'm telling you, this was the turning point moment. I was driving home from the radio station. Someone texted me a link, which is that. Why is that weird? It wasn't a thing then. It was the first time I was ever texted a link, and I clicked the link on my flip phone or whatever it was, and then I could hear a radio station in LA. And then I realized, and I was in Pennsylvania, a local radio station in LA. I was a local radio station in Pennsylvania. And I was like, now I got to compete with these people too. Like I was just trying to be the coolest out of 5 radio stations in this part of the world. Now I need to be the coolest in the world. That's when I was like, I'm going to go to law school or I'm going to do something. It's too much. But you don't need but now you don't. Now, number one, the reverse is true. Everyone's got to compete with you. But you don't need 1 million people to love you. You can have a really strong 1,000 people love you. If 1,000 people give you $1,000, that's some sort of amount of money.
David said, first thing potential patients do is they look on YouTube for self-care.
Sure.
And I think, I think that's awesome. I never understood the medical doctor, the physical therapist, whoever who's like, don't Google your condition. That's ridiculous. Like, yes, educate yourself on your condition, see what it says out there, come in as an informed consumer, and then we'll refine what you found to apply it to you together. But yeah, like everybody should go straight to YouTube first, see what YouTube says, and then go deeper if you need to.
That's a flag. If you got to tell 100 people not to Google their thing, why aren't you creating the thing that comes up first on Google already? They told you where they're going and you ignored them.
Well, and that's what Tony's doing. That's what he's saying. And you said
don't do it, which makes me want to do it more.
Get Mo?
Get Mo.
Do Mo? You trying to do Mo? Get Mo?
I need to have a button where this just get Mo.
Get Mo.
Get Mo purple. Get Mo green. Get Mo Instagram me.
Really quick. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because I was going to take us off topic.
Okay, real quick. Ben was just saying, it is the quote, I went to urgent care for a mild ankle sprain. And it's the quote, I went to the ortho for a mild ankle sprain and got an injection and an MRI. Yeah, like you go to the ortho, you if your only tool is a hammer, everything's a nail. You go to the ortho, you're going to get it all. You go to urgent care, you're going to get the minimum. You go on YouTube, you're going to see what somebody else said. You call a PT. Like even between Dave and I guarantee if the same person called Dave, the same person called me, same condition, I'm going to be like, probably no big deal. Give it a couple weeks. You'll probably be fine. You call Dave, he's going to come up with more in-depth analysis and solutions and information and what he can do.
And I might ask, what's your credit card number?
The difference is I'm not looking.
I'm kidding.
Right? So to me, it's just like, let nature take its course.
But what Dave sells is I'll be there in 10 minutes or I'll be there tomorrow so I can tell you, because that's what you want. You want to know. Like
if you want certainty, it's not every consumer.
Right. I mean, shoot, I remember when I was swim coaching during PT school, like for like a kid's swim team. And like, I didn't understand this until someone had to nudge me. But like I had a parent call me like, can you come over? It was one of my swimmers, but it was the off season. And they texted me, can you come over and take a look at this kid's knee? Because she's in basketball. And I was a PT student. And I was like, why are you calling me? And he's like, aren't you going to be a PT? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, got it. And then gave over an assessment. And I was like, no, I think she's good and whatever. And he's like, all right. And then he just handed me a bunch of money. And it was probably illegal or whatever. I don't know. But I was like, why'd you pay me? And he was like, because I just wanted to know if she should play or not tomorrow. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to school for. Like, you're going to do this. But it wasn't like that. Because I was like, I don't work at a clinic, therefore I can't see you. And they were like, we just want, more than us. Not infinitely more. You're not the smartest guy on the planet. You're the smartest guy in my phone, though. So I want you to look at it because I don't know how to YouTube that and assess. But apparently you went to a few classes, so you will. And that was the moment I was like, well, yeah, this is valuable. Like, yeah, Ben said, hurt versus injured. Can she go or not? And I was like, cleared for launch, Chief. He's like, great, here's $50. Go buy yourself something nice.
Dave, where'd you want to take the combo?
Let's go.
Yeah, really, really quick. I sent a screenshot back from 2018 in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I've got it.
This was from Fiverr. I'm going back on Fiverr because I'm trying to get vector art for my logo so that I can use it for signs and printing and all that. This is May 27th of 2018. They were this designer was trying to sell me a logo for $35 or a premium package of $80. And then I said, and I don't know, it says Angela, and then it says Nafisa. I don't know. I guess they changed their name on Fiverr. But I said, Anthony Maritato mentioned that he paid $6 for his logos. However, I definitely want something professional, not cheap. So what's the difference between your basic and standard packages? I just wanted to give a shout out to Tony because he's been helping me. He's been helping out other therapists for years. And this was when I was trying to get my Concierge Pain Relief logo printed for the first time. And I always forget like when I started my practice. Like I don't remember exactly when.
Was it 18?
But it was 2018. So around that time, I had already registered conciergepainrelief.com. And this is when I was looking for help to get a logo. So you gotta love word of mouth referrals. And then when they try to sell you something way more than what the person, Tony in this case, spent, I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get that $6 logo that Tony Maritato got, man.
Although,
come on
like,
now.
Man, a $6 logo.
Hey,
like,
ask Tony that he's here. What?
Was it? At that time, I was buying so many logos for random projects. I was throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Like, I have no idea. It didn't matter.
There was no Canva. Probably, right? There was no Canva then.
Yeah, no, Canva was around. Canva was around. I didn't want to put the mental energy into thinking of a design. I just give me something to put up there because it does not matter. You just launch.
Correct. That's what I did. And even if you launch and then you say the name, I don't know if you heard me, Tony. I launched with Ignite Lab Media, and I was like, I love it. I'm like, I'm going to set a fire. Look how deep I am. And then I said the name for a week, and I was like, I don't like it. Yeah. And then someone else was like, it's not you. And I'm like, shoot, what am I supposed to do? I told the world. And then I was like, well, would I tell someone else? So I was change the name and just get Mo. Sorry, I'm just gonna yell it out every once in a while. All right, we've got 4.5 minutes. Do we want to just do parting shots? We've probably not enough time to get into anything else.
Yeah, let's say parting shots. You know, I think the theme from today is there is a difference between worth and value. We have to understand that difference. What is the difference between worth and value? Something can be worth an infinite amount of money, but the value of it to a purchaser can be very low. So this goes back to, look, real quick, the Starbucks, the strike that's going on with Starbucks right now, the craziness from the New York future mayor of coming out against the Starbucks Corporation is blowing my mind. But with that being said, is Starbucks paying for the job that needs to be done, or is Starbucks paying for the human who is doing the job? We're paying for the job. The job is sweeping the floors and making coffee. That's what I'm going to pay for. If you don't want to do the job, then go get another job. I will find somebody else who will do that job. The job is not worth $40 an hour. It's value and worth. Look up the definition and understand the difference between those two words.
Well, this was someone else too, and I sort of poked the bear. They're like, we should as a profession strike. And I'm like, well, good luck getting 5 people. Good luck getting 3 people to show up on a live stream at the exact same time every week. That's hard. You're going to tell me you're going to organize a nationwide strike with a bunch of people who are not organized at all. And also, who's going to care? Patients are going to care. PTs are going to care because they're not going to get paid. You think the insurance company is going to really care? They're like, hey, great, sweet, save it $1 billion a day, not paying on these things. Like, you know, so this is worth, value, and cost. Cost is what I say it's worth. Value is what you're sitting there and you got the money and I'm trying to make sure I don't want to undervalue, but if I overvalue it, I get $0.
Dave?
Tony for president.
Tony for president. Yeah, no, I'll just double click on Tony. I like the worth versus value. Always something that's, I think for me, evolving and trying to keep an open mind with some of the feedback of like, here's what I perceive, here's what I believe, and then I throw it out to you guys, I throw it out to others. So for me, that's always, I don't want to say it's ever changing, but maybe more evolving as we grow and expand as a practice and a business.
All right, guys, come back and see us.
My parting shot will be, sometimes you need to hear something 4,000 times before you take action. Hear it 4,000 times before you take action. We'll be here on Thursday. Get Mo. You're out. Get Mo. I'm going to take the audio. I like the way you say it better than me. Dave, you're out on Thursday, right?
Did I say I was out?
I thought you did.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a guest, somebody. Maybe there'll be a secret guest. Maybe we'll have Ben, so he doesn't have to type, and we'll save Ben's thumbs.
I will be back Tuesday, which would be our gratefulness episode because it's before Thanksgiving next Thursday.
We're gonna have a theme. I love themes. Let's do gratefulness. Ben says get Mo.
Tuesday. Get Mo.
Get Mo. All right, we'll be back on Thursday. Maybe we'll have a secret guest. Who the heck knows? We'll see you guys. Follow us all the places. Let's record an outro that just says where all of our places are, and then we never need to remember and stumble over as we're just trying to end a show. That'll be the next thing we do.